was historic. A strike that included the longest B-2 Spirit bomber mission since 2001 and the first operational employment of the MOP, a massive ordnance penetrator.
In just a matter of weeks, this went from strategic planning to global execution. This operation underscores the unmatched capabilities and global reach of the United States military.
Well, that unmatched military might on stunning display last night. A fleet of B-2 bombers flew from Missouri all the way to Iran and back after President Trump gave the green light for an unprecedented strike against Iran's nuclear facilities. With us now, Missouri Congressman Mark Alford. His district includes the base where the B-2 stealth bomber fleet departed. Congressman, it's great to have you on the show. I want to play one more soundbite, if I can, from Chairman of the Joint Chiefs, General Dan Raisin Kane, and he said this about the mission. Watch.
Once over land, the B-2s linked up with escort and support aircraft in a complex, tightly timed maneuver requiring exact synchronization across multiple platforms in a narrow piece of airspace, all done with minimal communications.
I mean, it reads like a novel, Congressman, right? They left your territory. They went for 36 hours and never touched the ground. The refueling missions, the precision of the attack, and they got back. And it was really one of those things that you think that was an amazing thing to be learning about. What did you think about the mission?
Well, Trace, I think this is a testament to the will and the power and the capability of the United States of America. The B-2 stealth bomber was first flown in 1989. There were 21 built. The 19 are still at Whiteman Air Force Base. They are capable of carrying nuclear weapons and conventional weapons. And they carried out that conventional attack on Iran to decapitate the nuclear capabilities. We're just getting word and some video in from Whiteman Air Force Base now that those 7 stealth bombers have landed back safely at Whiteman Air Force Base. I'm going out there tomorrow. The 509th Bomb Wing needs to be saluted. This is a logistics miracle to pull this off without any ID from any of the enemies, without one single shot fired at our stealth bombers.
Congressman, the B-2 hasn't been without controversy over the years. And people who supported it had to really fight for the funding. And, the modernizing of the military that is happening as we speak with the drones and the cyber and everything. But it's still important to have this type of capabilities. And so going into the budget negotiations and discussions, what is your position at this point after last night? Does it change at all in terms of giving you even more leverage?
Dana, thanks for that question. I think it strengthens our resolve to plus up our military. We did that last week with the defense authorization, the defense appropriations bill, over $1 trillion now in funding. You might remember back in the 80s when the B-2 first came about, it was a much higher cost. We were going to build 100 of those. We ended up building only 21 because the Cold War ended. We thought we might not need them as badly. They ended up costing about $2.1 billion. We're now working on the B-21 being built in Palmdale, California. I've been out there. I've seen it. I've touched it. They're well underway to replace the B-2 stealth bomber. They're much stealthier, in fact, than the B-2. And it's just a testament to what we're able to do. We've got to make sure that those are built. There are some generals, Stratcom Commander General Cotton wants to build up to 147. There's some in the Senate who want to build 200. But imagine right now if we had 100 B-2 stealth bombers positioned around the world to take on any bad actor.
Yeah, it's amazing to me, Congressman, that when we keep getting on my phone emails from other networks, and you have some of your colleagues on the other side of the aisle and some Republicans bemoaning this mission, complaining, saying that President Trump should be impeached, that it was illegal. You would think at the very least, that they would be proud of what their military accomplished, because this was something that you look at Afghanistan. That's the last big world sight that they got on our military, and it wasn't very pretty. And now you look at this and you think, wow, that is amazing stuff that Israel, IDF, Mossad, and the U.S. military pulled off.
It really is, Trace, and we need to all be proud of the job, not just the President of the United States did in making this decision, I think one of the biggest decisions of his life, but the men and women of the 509th, the maintenance crews, the refueling operation that it took to pull this off. 7 B-2 bombers flying a total of 36 hours each. there and back without one incident. You know, I think more than anything, though, Dana and Trace, this is a time for choosing for the Ayatollahs. I remember you've probably seen the speech in 1964, Reagan's speech in Barry Goldwater's campaign, A Time for Choosing. But now the Ayatollahs have a choice to make. Do they want to live in peace or chaos? Normal relations or isolation from the Arab world? Do they want to have prosperity or poverty? It is a time for choosing. This is a defining moment in world history, and we have a front row seat to it.
Yeah, Congressman Mark Alford, your state should also be very proud. Thank you, sir, for coming on. We appreciate it.
Thank you. God bless you.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.